Iwe, urukuita slogan iriwe.
Slogan tikuita slogan.
Aiwa, mukuitira kupi?
Kuma meetings edu nema elders, nema conference tikuita.
Nei ndabvunza. Pai pakwaya baba pai. Avana kufara nemaitiro kuita slogan yako iwewe.
Kungoti munhu washe vanhu havasi kufara, vanhu vanenge vasiri kufara zveshuwa. Hameno pane zvamungachinja here kumatongerwo enyika kuti vanhu vafara.
Aiwa ka. Handimi mamchada. Isusu atichado. Totora mabenefits edu hanti mota dzedu, dzimba dzedu, ndizvo ka.
Aiwa munhu washe tinopakaza tukatsirisa panokasira.
Ita chimbi. Ita semunhu ari kudya. Handiti, ita semunhu mukuru iwewe.
Tinopakaza.
Ndizvo.
Mufaro kwamuri? Mufaro kwamuri?
Haleluya.
Pamberi nezamu FF.
Ndokuta seiko kwa
Ndati pamberi nezamu FF. Ingachiro mubhaibheri zvakanyorwa kuti idai vatungamiri venyu muvanamatire nekuti vakasarudzwa naMwari. Chero mukabirwa sei, chero mukarakashwa sei, chero uine nzara yako, ramba uchivada uchivanamatira. Handiti pano takauya kuti tende kudenga. Saka ngatite zvinoda Mwari. Tikati tambe tikati imbe toita maslogans toimba dzimbo dzemusangano. Pamberi nezamu FF.
Tingadiko pamberi.
Pari zvino tichambo vasina kunza mali ziyadziyadze ehuni. Ngava unze kumberi kuna madzibaba munya. Ndo zvimwe zvinhu zvisingade Mwari futi izvozvo.
My people, comrades and friends, welcome to another episode of The Week with me, Comrade Fatso. I take a little break and come back to find CCC MPs being recalled again, Chamisa and Biti fighting, and Henriette still getting away with her handbag Nyayas. But first, recalls. Yes, just when you thought the end of Monzora meant no more recalls, the junta did a pull up. Recalls are back, bitches. Self-imposed CCC Secretary General, Singezo Chabangu, has gone daggy pro max and decided to take the number of recalls of opposition MPs to the highest number I can recall. It's almost like he's the action hero in a brand new blockbuster film called Total Recall. Before that, he'd already recalled 15 CCC MPs, 9 senators, 67 councillors, and 3 Dynamos players who he thought weren't playing enough defense. Okay, maybe not that last one, but this guy's on a roll. Never one to slow down, Shabangu has also asked the Hurment to give him Shaggy from the funding due to CCC under the Political Parties Finance Act. Someone wants his Christmas box a little bit early this year. He just set up a CBZ account faster with the name Give Me the Beg Private Limited. How did he do that so quickly? I've been trying to set up a CBZ account for months. The High Court, through Justice Tawanda Chitapi, has stopped Parliament from effecting any further recalls. But the damage has already been done, and by-elections are set for December.
Thank you. 15, yeah.
Chaitika.
Diani!
Iwe Duani.
Shamandani Diani.
Duani kwewe.
Dini ka muridzi wepanapo.
Aiwa ndini muridzi wepanapo.
Wewe unogoita muridzi wepanapo uri panze sei?
Kwewe unogopindira seka pasinga kiobva gare momo.
Iwe shamari yoga. Dini muridzi wepanapo.
Aiwa pave.
Though ekutese tiri mbavaka, but for the meantime I'm the interim landlord until further notice.
Iwe bulemo mumba mangu nini? I'm going to the police, I'm going to the court.
Iwe unogoita mbaba bose uri panze chimkati echa makizi ndinawana. Enda ukaenda kukonjika, everything is sorted. Ndakatotomwa kare.
So what's the strategy here? Well, Zanu is using Chabangu as a front so they can get their 2/3 majority in parliament, so they can push through more fija laws like the patriotic law, and so they can extend presidential term limits so that Idi can run again. Basically, building a one-party state. And they're attacking the struggle that many Zimbabweans went through to vote for leaders of their choosing in the recent elections. All is not well within the CCC. Social media rumors have been accusing Tendai Biti and Welshman Ncube of being part of the cabal behind Chabangu. Biti discredited the claim, saying, "I am a Democrat who believes in constitutionalism, the rule of law, transparency, openness, and collective leadership. I can never compromise on these core values. However, no dispute, no differences is ever sufficient to place one at the service of Zanu PF." Then Chamisa, replying to a tweet from one of his followers, questioned the concept of collective leadership. Is there anything called collective leadership for unlike hearts and minds? Governance issues are matters of the heart. So Nelson, I take it you don't heart Tendai then? I thought governance issues were matters of values and principles. So what's going on inside CCC? There's no doubt that Zanu PF is using Chabangu to disrupt the opposition. But there are also some massive internal issues that have to be dealt with. Issues like lack of strategy, structures, and accountability have been raised by those who've worked with CCC, like Freeman Chari, Kuda Musasiwa, and Hopewell Chingono. We have an opposition party that lacks basic transparency and doesn't have a democratically elected leadership. I mean, come on, Nelson. You use these strategic ambiguity and structureless arguments before elections. My elections, it's time to have a congress so that there's more than one position in the party. It's not chinchaku chete. If you're really fighting for a democratic Zimbabwe, then you need to walk your talk. The pattern of abductions and beatings of opposition activists has continued, as CCC activist Tafumane Masaya was abducted by suspected CIO agents while campaigning in Mavuku. Masaya was found dead in Harare this week. Our politics is really entering into some dark times. CCC Deputy Spokesperson Ostalo Siziba had this to say.
Life is being lost on account of politics, but more importantly, the election is never now about the political choice between the ruling establishment and the alternative. Right now, an election in Zimbabwe means two things. If you want life, you are forced and coerced to vote for Zanu PF. If you vote for the alternative, which is your choice, you are actually voting for death in the context of the by-election that we held in Good. So voting is no longer about the political choice in Zimbabwe right now under Mr. Mnangagwa. Voting is now about a matter of life and death. It is no longer about the political choice. It's no longer about bread and butter issues. That's why Zimbabweans are being coerced to go and vote. It's actually coercion rather than election, which is the problem that we are facing in this country.
Politics shouldn't be about having to choose between life or death. And thugs shouldn't be running our country. What happens if you smuggle gold? You get a 5K fine. That's what happened this week, as former Deputy Finance Minister Terence Mukupe is set to do jail time for diesel smuggling. Maybe because he was G40 once upon a time. Meanwhile, Henriette got off with just a fine for gold smuggling, because she's connected to the press. And because Henriette's cousin in cabinet happened to all of a sudden approve a 400k loan for the judge presiding over her case. Pamberine Gold Mafia. Thanks for joining us on The Week. Follow Magamba TV on social media. I've been Comrade Fatso. You have been the people. This has been The Week. Thank you. Don't smuggle diesel and food sec.